Good morning, everyone. My name is Welch. I'm a sophomore at Da Vinci Design. I will be presenting English and History. Now we'll begin with English. In the story Fahrenheit 451, Guy Montag is an unhappy man searching for happiness in an illegal way. Montag had everything he needed to be happy, however he wasn't. The only thing missing in his life was books. In the first quote, basically he's letting us know that he is very unhappy, but he doesn't know why. There must be something in these books, things we can't imagine, to make a woman stay in a burning house. So he witnessed a woman basically burn herself to death over books, and so he's now questioning them, saying they must be very magical. He put his hand back up and took out 2 books to the floor. When he was done, he looked upon some of 20 books. So this isn't his first time questioning books. For a long time now, he's been secretly collecting books. And this is illegal, especially he's a fireman, so this is somewhat against his will. His wife's face grew in amazement. He might come and burn the house and the family, so he's not only sacrificing himself, but his wife as well, his whole family, his house, everything that he's built, he's sacrificing. Montag went to his bedroom closet and flipped through his file wallet to the heading Future Investigations. Professor Faber, I have a rather odd question to ask. So years back, he met a professor at a park, and he sat down and had a conversation with him. He caught the professor reading a poem it was, and instead of turning him in, he actually sat down and had a conversation with him. He listened to the man's poem. In fact, he even exchanged numbers with him. He asked him, how many copies of the Bible are left in the country? So he's not only asking about a book, but a Bible. The Bible is usually used to give guidance, clarity. Why does he want a Bible? Because he wants to figure out if what's going on is right, if it's a good thing, if burning books is a good thing. He would be Montag plus Faber, fire plus water. So Montag and Faber are teaming up to try and figure out a way to end the burning of books. Going back to the first chapter, one time as a child in a power failure, his mother had found a last candle. There had been a brief hour of rediscovery of such illumination, that space lost its vast dimensions and drew comfortably around them. And they, mother and son alone, transformed the power, hoping that the power might not come too soon again. So ever since he was a child, he enjoyed not necessarily being alone, but he enjoyed the quietness, he enjoyed peaceful, he enjoyed thinking of thoughts. And that's what books are. Books are just written down thoughts that sometimes are irrelevant. The river was very real. It held him comfortably. It gave him the time at last to leisure to consider this month, this year, and a lifetime of years. So basically, once again, he's enjoying being in the quiet peacefulness, not necessarily by himself, but to think about thoughts. This is all he wanted, some sign that the immune world would accept him. That the long time he needed to think thoughts, something like that. But basically, he's happy now. He found himself. To me, this book, it wasn't about the government taking control. It wasn't about advanced in technology. It was about Montag finding himself, finding happiness. Thank you for your undivided attention. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, what is the significance of the chapter titles?
Oh, so basically Montag thought that there was something in books that could help out. But Professor Faber, he said it's not the books, it's these 3 things that matters the most. The first one is quality of information, leisure to digest, and a right to carry actions based on everything that we've learned, so based on the 2 that I just mentioned.
Right. So how do these quotes develop Montag as a character? Because you're supposed to do a character analysis on Montag. You talked a lot about those quotes. What about Montag?
Well, Montag, he's unhappy, right? That's the character trait, and he's searching for his happiness.
So how does that develop throughout the book? How does his unhappiness develop?
He's searching for it, and he finally found it. He's searching for it.
How is that developed?
question again?
So you said that the character analysis is that he's unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that developed throughout the novel? How do we see that?
How do we see that, or how does he see that?
Well, the idea of a character analysis is that we are analyzing the character. So how is the reader able to analyze and come up with the solution that he is unhappy?
Well, let's not forget he mentioned it in the very beginning. And throughout the book, we see that he's trying to figure out if these books are important. He's searching for his happiness. Do you understand?
How do we know that he's searching for happiness?
Searching for happiness because he's going against the law. He's putting his life on a thread. Why else would he be doing this?
Search for knowledge.
No.
So that's what I'm asking. How do you know that? So why is he unhappy?
He mentioned he don't know why, but he's unhappy because he enjoys being in the peacefulness and quietness, and there's like 3 TVs at his house. It's very noisy. His wife talks nonstop. He's not around his wife.
His wife talks.
Oh.
No, she doesn't watch the TV. She's actually bothered by the fact that he tries to start his conversation. But what other way do we know that he's unhappy?
Well, we know that he hates his job. He goes home and showers luxuriously, trying to wash it off. That's another reason. He doesn't get to read his books. He doesn't get to think thoughts.
Does he know that he's not allowed to think on the book?
Yeah, he knows that. Well, he figured it out from him.
So initially he doesn't know. What makes him realize that he's not allowed to think for himself?
When he met Faber, he needed Faber. That's why I put that little bug in his ear to tell him what to do.
So he's still not allowed to think for himself.
But now that Faber's dead, yes, he is.
So when does he start to think for himself?
He starts to think for himself when Faber told him, this is your decision. What do you want to do? As they was trying to figure out a plan to burn books.
So is it his quest for happiness or independence?
This is my opinion. I think that it was for happiness.
But the answers that you're giving me are more towards his independence, like being able to think for himself. Is that what leads to his happiness?
Yeah, that's true. But like you said, happiness.
That's what I'm asking you.
I think it's happiness.
You don't have to answer.
Okay. I will now be presenting History Essential Skill 2, Compare and Contrasting Revolutions. The Haitian Industrial Revolution had a great impact on the world. It created and increased production, which eventually spread around the world. Also, slavery in Saint Domingo, which we now know as Haiti, ended. Some similarities between the two is they both took place around the same time, 1700s. They both began because of social inequalities, workers being treated unfairly. Workers/slaves were forced to work under bad conditions, and they both were successful. So here are some evidence. As you can see in the first picture, the Haiti Revolution, the lighter skin is beating on the black skin. This goes back to social inequalities. Workers were working under bad conditions. This little boy, he was injured working with a spinning wheel. Some differences between the two are they both took place around at different times. Different areas. French colony, black slaves had no choice, they were basically forced. And in the Haitian Revolution, there was masters instead of bosses. The Industrial Revolution took place in England. Workers did not have to put up with it. However, they did have families, they did have bills to pay, but they didn't have to put up with it, and they had bosses. Here's a picture. As you can see, with Haitian, I am not a man, I am not a man and a brother. So basically, like I said, he was being forced, he was chained up,